another glorious day, my tea sippers, and you know what time it is. I hope you have all of your crumpets together because it's time to dish tea. And you're dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meech.
Can't wait. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech. It's time to dish tea with Big Meech.
Darling. Hello. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all know it's the time for my allergies, right? Oh, okay. Hello there, my darlings. Hello to all of my tea sippers, my crumpet dunkers, my tea brewers, my pot stirrers, my tea baggers, and my tea leaf readers, honey. What is the glorious, another glorious day. Honey, I hope you have all of your crumpets together because, darling, you know what time it is, honey. It's time to dish tea, and you are dishing tea, darlings, with Big Meech. What's up? What is going on with all of you, child? What's your tea? Well, darlings, listen. Okay, here you go. Y'all know I had nighttime allergies. Anyway. Well, if y'all saw me earlier today, welcome back. Okay, welcome back. This time, this is dishing tea with Big Meech today. Earlier, honey, I just had to get that up off me because it was settling too badly. And I just wanted to do a Big Meech moment on the Jamal Bryant piece, okay? So we did that. So if you missed that, honey, go back and go and check that out, honey. It's rather long, honey. It's basically a show within itself. It's rather long, but yeah, we had to flush all that out, honey, because I got tired of all of that. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. Now, let me put this little teaser out here, honey. I am about to get ready to do some video work for the campaign. You guys know that I'm running for mayor here in the city of College Park. And we have some things coming down the pipeline that I've got to put together because there was something that came to my ministry today that we must address. So, teaser. Okay. So we're going to get ready to do all that. But in the meantime and in between time, darlings, tonight's show, I call tonight's show, What in the Fraganackle Bull is Going On? Okay. Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, thank you, darling. Okay. Yes, let me grab my tea. Get your tea, honey. Yeah, it's time to get the tea. Okay. You all right? Okay. The 32-year-old and 33-year-old rather say he old. Okay. All right. But nonetheless, tonight, yeah, what in the Fraganackle Bull is going on? Buck, while you're here, I'm gonna have you on research department duties, darling. And yeah, because tonight, dear hearts, I know this is gonna be another one of those passionate shows. Because we're gonna be talking about this thing that Florida just did yesterday. And I heard about it today while I listened to my sister, honey, Miss Flame Monroe, right? You caught that, huh? No, I just got a private message share, and I'm laughing. Um, I've been listening to my sister Flame Monroe on her coffee time, right? She does coffee time during the early mornings. And I'm like, okay, she said, y'all hear what Florida just did, right? I said, what did Florida do, girl? Well, this is about their education curriculum, okay? And this is all about um, what they plan to do and how they want to teach slavery, all right? And so I'm going to read this article that I have pulled up from, what is this? This is NBCnews.com, okay? So, and it's dated for, I want to say yesterday or today, July 20th, 2023. That was yesterday. Okay. So we're going to get into this because the whole idea of all of this is trying to find out what the hell is going on. And if anybody sit back and allow this to become precedent, even though they voted the approval to have this going on, then all of us need our asses whooped. Okay, and that's just point blank period. All right. Let me bring in the minister up in here, the right minister. Okay, what's up, G? Where'd you sound at? No sound. Yeah. Try now. No. All right. Okay, well, while he's
Check,
doing all that, I'm
check,
gonna
check.
get together because he'll be in a minute. Y'all know.
Hello.
There we go. There we go. Yeah.
Degree did not go to waste. Look,
Okay.
well, I just want to say, hear, come one, come all. The world is
Okay.
having a danger ball. Every second of every hour, something is showing
Exactly.
great power. I'm telling you now, things is right, but it's tight. It's time for you to get your mind on track and get out of sight. Stay out them streets, shuffle your feet, get a spiritual lesson before you get a devilish beat.
Well, how about that, darlings? Well, now that you're here, let me go into this article real quick, and then we're going to get into this because when I heard this, I gagged.
I'm sorry, why you gagging over there? Wipe your mouth. But I'm saying, hey, what's happening, Buck? What's the business, man? Hey, bruh, I ain't heard from you since King died. What up, my trigger?
The trigger, not your trigger. Okay. This says Florida public schools will now teach students that some Black people benefited from slavery because it taught them useful skills. Part of new African American history standards approved Wednesday that that were blasted by state teachers unions as a step backwards, quote unquote. The Florida State Board of Education's new standards includes controversial language about how, quote, slaves developed skills which in some instances could be applied for their personal benefit, end quote, according to the 216-page document about the state's 2023 standards in social studies posted by the Florida Department of Education. Other language that has drawn the ire from educators and education advocates includes teaching about how Black people were also perpetrators in violence during race massacres. That language says, quote, instruction includes acts of violence perpetuated against and by African Americans, but it's not limited to 1906 Atlanta race riot, 1919 Washington, D.C. race riot, 1920 Ocasio massacre, 1921 Tulsa massacre, and the 1923 Rosewood massacre, end quote. The Florida Education Association and statewide teachers unions, representing about 150,000 teachers, called the new standards, quote, a disservice to Florida students and are a big step backwards for the state that has required teaching African Americans' histories since 1994. How can our students ever be equipped for a future if they don't have a full, honest picture of where we've come from? Florida students deserve adults who can help heal our nation's divisions rather than deepen them, Andrew Spar, president of the union, said in the statement. Governor DeSantis is pursuing a political agenda guaranteed to set good people against one another, and in the process, he's cheating our kids, Spar said. They deserve a full truth of American history, the good and the bad, end quote. The union said it is troubling that at the high school level, the standards conflate the 1920 OCE massacre, when at least 30 African Americans were killed for attempting to vote, with acts of violence perpetuated by African Americans, quote unquote. And in middle school, the standards require students be taught slavery was beneficial to African Americans because it helped them to develop skills. The curriculum were required by a controversial 2022 law that Governor Ron DeSantis dubbed as Stop Wrongs to Our Kids and Employees Act, or the Stop Woke Act, NBC South Florida reported. A spokesperson from the Florida Department of Education on Thursday provided a response to NBC News questions through a statement from Dr. William Allen and Dr. Francis Presley Rice, who were members of Florida's African American History Standards Work Group. The new standards were defended in the statement as, quote, comprehensive and rigorous instruction on African American history. We proudly stand behind these African American history standards, the statement said. The intent of this particular benchmark clarification is to show that some slaves developed highly specialized trades from which they benefited. This is factual and well documented, it added. The statement continued. Some examples include blacksmiths like Ned Cobb, Henry Blair, Lewis Latimer, and John Henry, shoemakers like James Fortin, Paul Koof, and Betty Washington Lewis, fishing and shipping industry workers like Jupiter Hammond, John Chavez, William Whipper, and Cypress Atticus, tailors like Elizabeth Keckley, James Thomas, and Marietta Carter, and teachers like Betsy Stockton and Booker T. Washington. It's, quote, disappointing, end quote, that some detractors would devalue the research from the work group and reduce it to a few isolated expressions without context, the statement said. A representative for Governor DeSantis could be immediately reached for comment Thursday. In January, DeSantis' administration blocked a new advanced placement course on African American studies from being taught in high school.
On that porch.
It violates state laws and was historically inaccurate. The state pointed to 6 areas of concern and works by Kimberly W. Crenshaw, Bell Hooks, Angela Davis, and other Black authors. That same month, DeSantis and Education Commissioner Manny Diaz Jr. discussed the issue at a news conference. They said that the course was a Trojan horse for indoctrinating students with a left-wing ideology under the guise of teaching about the Black experience, and African American history.
Well, that's a cotton picking lie.
Hey, let me hit the back to we need folks in on this subject immediately.
I need a shot of do we need a cotton gin to make me a shot of liquor? Look.
Okay, right.
I have a question.
Hopefully we have an answer.
I tell you what. we have become some of the greatest fighters in the history of organized sports. That's because we owe that to you old phase from back in the day, because you taught us how to take a beating. We'll accept that.
Okay.
And don't forget, some of the best transportation businesses in the world are owned by Afro-American people, and we have to give that to you because we drove you everywhere and opened doors. And another thing I will have to say, some of the best chefs in the world.
Come on now.
Probably descended from the skills of the house ninja.
Well, we just call them the workers, the house workers.
No. See, a worker is somebody who gets up in the morning and they want to go into the job. You don't, state had.
Yeah, right. It's servitude, the house servitude.
Right, I was going to say, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Beat the batter or get the beating. You know what I'm saying? So,
okay.
Right. Yeah. Right. So let me ask you this. You said servitude.
Yeah.
So when you had those big guys, right, like Meade, knocking down the wife of the guy who owns the whole little place, right, the plantation. She felt like, well, you out there plugging Penelope Pumpkin, and I'm up here all alone, so I might as well order me up, you know what I'm saying, a side of sausage. So what was the thing then? Is that they taught us how to be some of the greatest gigolos? Do we owe that to them? I'm just curious. Like I'm trying to figure out what exactly did we do that we wanted to do that was taught to where it would become a skill.
That it was a skill
that we wanted to do.
That benefited us.
Okay, because I don't remember hearing nothing about cows wanting to be raised up and I can't wait to get old enough to pull that plow. No, you're made to do it. Somebody's whipping your ass while you pulling. Okay, excuse me, Lord. But you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Somebody's behind you cracking a whip.
Right.
That came from they were doing it to animals first. Then came ninjas. If you were whipping animals to make them work before you went over there on them boats and disrupted what folks had going on, you like, oh my God, look at these people. Look at that. Well, look how they living. Oh, they balling. Oh, okay. Well, let's get all this stuff and pack it up and take it from them. You know what I'm saying? Let's take this one. And say, oh, I got an idea. Let's take them too.
Right. And make it work. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to, Lord. I'm trying to figure out if I walk up to a battered woman right now and I can say, what did you learn from that ass whooping?
Right.
What skill did you acquire that's going to feed the rest of your life?
And now here's where it is. Because they're using the word that some blacks acquired skills. And then you want to go through and name some of the people that you're talking about. Okay. Christmas Atticus and really. Okay. But here's what this is.
Go ahead, man.
What about the part of the history where those who didn't work were killed, brutally beaten? You know, what about the part of them being sold off, stripped from their families and carried on? See, the problem that I'm having with this particular curriculum idea that they said they approved this. They approved this. And talking about some, don't pay, you're trivializing this. What's the word that they use? Wait a minute, that's not the word that they use. What is the word that these children just use for this? Hold on. She says,
ignorance.
Don't devalue the devalued the research from the work group and reduced it to a few isolated expressions without context. A few isolated expressions. So we got 400 years, actually 300 and some odd years, or 255 years, plus the 100 years of Jim Crow. So we got all of that were isolated incidences. Huh? Here's what I want to know about this curriculum too. What are you teaching about the Klan? Because all of this is centered around what you want folks to learn about Black history. What is this curriculum teaching about the Klan as well? Because you want to bring up, talking about, that African Americans were participatory in violence against themselves, right?
Whoa.
But we're not going to exclude, well, we have to talk about this race riot and that race riot and that race riot. Okay. But what are you teaching about the Klan? Since you're talking about African American history got to be recolored and reshaped, what are you saying about the Klan at this particular time? And here's the thing. We don't have slavery anymore, so you want to say, okay, but it's called prison now based on our 13th Amendment. Thank you. But the way how slavery is or was back in the day is not that way unless you're in prison. But the Klan is still operative the same way that they were back in the day. So that still goes on. So what are we teaching that's going to, and I'm getting a little bit passionate about this because this is just Florida right now. The man who is currently the governor is trying to run for president. Okay. So if this is going to be a standard that this man is trying to establish, that means all of the other Republican governors and all that's in alignment would then say that they are in quote unquote agreement with all of this and would then start to take suit, which means what? We're going to have an uprising of the damn Confederacy if you keep playing this way. Okay. So what are we doing? And here's the biggest thing, because like shows like mine and everybody else who done said what we're talking about and carrying on, what are we going to do? What are we going to put in place? How are we then going to fight this? Because that shit there needs to go to the state Supreme Court. They need to take that to Florida State Supreme Court and debunk all of that. Why are you going to sit down here and try to take away history and reshape it to where listen, nobody wants to hear anything bad about anybody. Okay? When we tell our stories about our own history, we got folks who go through depression because of their trauma from the childhood, their trauma from having we lost the house fires and carrying on, trauma from losing children or whatever, we've all had traumas, and no one wants to talk bad or anything. No one wants to re-experience that. No one wants to feel the pain of all that. No one wants to hear sadness and corruption and have pictures in their head about something so heinous. But why is it? I'm going to go here. It's going to sound that way. Why is it that we're only doing this about Black history or how you want to teach African American history? Ain't nobody said they're going to sit there and rewrite the Holocaust. Ain't nobody sit there and say how they're going to rewrite the Pearl Harbor bombing. Nobody's talking about that.
No.
Okay, so what the hell is this? And I dare. And see, we all live this. And we know how heinous it was for us here in America because it happened on our soil. But what if somebody said, let's rewrite 9/11?
Wow.
Oh, they didn't fly the planes into the building. It was a miscalculation on the control tower.
No, the building leaned into the planes.
Right.
They were just flying by.
You understand? So what is this supposed to mean? How in the hell do you find this palatable to say that we're going to rewrite this? And again, why is it that this is only happening because of the woke act or whatever this is? Stop the woke community. Okay. And again, this whole woke movement, it didn't start off as a day. It wasn't a movement. That was a saying. Same like Black Lives Matter. You see the pattern that we have here? Black Lives Matter was a damn hashtag. It wasn't no fucking movement until y'all started making it a politicized thing. Being woke, that was something that we said, wake up and smell the coffee. Look at what's going on. Understand your history. Wake up. Now that we woke, what we gonna do? And now it done became a whole political thing to where now this is a political hashtag. Oh, and all the people, the so-called important politicians now want to have an entire movement about what it means to be woke. Really? But you hated Farrakhan. Wake up and being woke go all the way back to when we were kids. We were kids when the dashikis were real dashikis. And not these fabricated shits that we call that they done made to make money off of. When we were talking about being woke, it was about understanding your history, understanding where you're coming from. Understand you got to wake up, stop sleeping. Nothing comes to a sleep but a dream. That they what they said. So now we're here, and you approve a curriculum. So now what are we as people? Because it's not just us. Because, but wait a minute. No, let me take that back. It is us right now. But if they're willing to do this to us, and if we don't do anything, what is going to happen to everybody else? And I know some of y'all power to the people too, they're going to say, fuck everybody else because it's not about them, it's about us as black folks. But I'm throwing it out here to everybody because I'm like, if they can change us the way they're changing it and saying, if this is approved, and they have workshops on this shit, this is what you came up with, but you didn't want to deal with the 1619 project. Y'all got rid of that saying that it was too controversial. Really? Really? The whole thing about 1619, that's the year that started all of this over here in this country of what American history has to become. As far as us blacks here in this country, uninvited, not uninvited, against our will, because we were already traveling over here. We knew about what this was because we traveled over here. We were explorers and things. But you came in and sold us, yes, and those who are over there in the mother country, yeah, for those of y'all who say, but black folks sold us too. Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did, but did not know what they were selling us into. Because slavery took on a whole nother meaning over there. It wasn't this. Okay?
Well,
what are they going to say about the Native American? Thank you for that, Buck, because he just said that here. Because we already got Thanksgiving that y'all tell wrong. We got a whole holiday that you tell wrong.
Now, wait a minute. I always thought, okay, we interrupt this moment for us. So what you're saying is, Thanksgiving, and I grew up a child.
Uh-huh.
I was always taught about the sharing and caring of the Pilgrims and the Indians teaching them the different ways of how to harvest and how to come together as one and unite. And we sit here and we break bread under the spiritual skies.
Yes.
And But then I kept hearing these little stories as I got older about these pimps that came onto this gangland and stole the gangland, took all their stuff, had them teach them the ways of selling dope, and then turned around and shared it with them on a holiday.
Uh-huh.
And said, hey, we know we smacked you around and took all your stuff and you taught us how to do this, but at least you could do is sit down and have a bite with me.
Right.
Am I confused?
No.
Oh.
No, because here's the part that came after that. After they fattened them up for the lamb to slaughter, but about a couple of days, 3 or 4 days after that, that's when they started killing them and pushing them off the land.
Well, yeah, because see, you all thought itis was something that happens after you get full and you sleepy. No, that's not what itis is. Itis is doggone you being so lethargic after eating a lot of food that you don't realize that somebody's kicking your ass and taking everything from you.
Right.
So today's word is itis. Get it right. So when they say itis, I'm going to need you to turn around to the next man and say, wake up.
Exactly. Ha. Okay.
Hold on. Come, leave the box. Put the bag down. Hold on. Don't drop me down. Just go ahead. Let me get some.
Praise Jesus. Yes. Okay. Okay. My God, today. Yes. Okay, I'm looking up the word. I wanted to as far as its definition, and of course we have a medical definition. Okay, the medical definition is it means inflammation. It's the suffix, which means inflammation. Okay.
What's that?
Huh?
You say itis?
Yeah, itis. Now that's the medical definition. It's a suffix, which means that it's inflammation. Okay, you hear that a lot with a lot of diseases. Like encephalitis and arthritis and carrying on, right? But then it said, what is the slang itis? The itis in quotations says drowsiness after eating a big meal. When you should stop using it. The itis originates from the word, and they put it in here, niggeritis, but they blacked out the G's. It is used to describe the lethargic, sleepy feeling an individual gets after eating a large meal. It helped reinforce the stereotype that Black Americans were lazy. Uh-huh.
We just proved that that's not where it came from.
Okay. Okay.
This came from Thanksgiving.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, I wanted to look that up real quickly to see how they was how.
Now I'm gonna start calling people that I consider to be lazy, lethargic, that don't do much nothing. That's gonna be their nickname.
What itis?
I'm like itis.
Well, Thanksgiving.
Itis.
Itis. Uh-huh. Otis and itis. Okay.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis.
Right. Okay. But not. But we want to. I need for us to get into a place where we have to start to strategize. How do we move from this particular point? Florida already said yes. Their state board of education has said yes to this and approved this particular curriculum. Where do we go from here? Because it's more than just marching and carrying on. They got to get a strategy together. They need to take that to the Supreme Court. They need to get some kind of injunction, some kind of something, and take that to the Supreme Court of the state. And if the state sit up there because he probably got them in his back pocket, they need to then take it all the way up to the federal courts.
Can I ask you a question?
I hope I have an answer.
And maybe Buck can help because he's good at this. Are there any companies where the items are predominantly cotton that's Black owned in America? Whether it be denim jeans, T-shirts, but the actual company, the manufacturers, the woven, the actual manufacturers, the growers of cotton that starts there and goes into the building of these shirts or these apparel. Are there any of them that are Black owned?
Oh, wait a minute. That's a good question. Research department, get on that because I'm going to help you. I'm going to help because see, I done got nosy about that one. That was good.
Mm-hmm.
That one is good.
And if so, is it a multi-million-dollar corporation like Levi?
Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Since they want to hand out skills.
Let's see. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. Let's see. I found from AK Brown, I think this is STL. I don't know if that's what St. Louis, .com. This says 7 Black manufacturers to consider to produce your product line. Okay. It says, as growing concerns arise for manufacturing options given our global supply chain crisis, my thoughts and opinions coming soon, there needs to be focused on stateside manufacturing. Yes, in prior years, it cost more to produce your products in the USA, and it was easier to import from other countries like China. But because of certain individuals taunting an already difficult relationship between us and certain countries, we're not only experiencing higher fees to produce products, but less than decent quality, and now halted shipping because of our global pandemic. I'm here to tell you that it's time to include at least one stateside manufacturer in your plan. If you're going to do that, you need to go Black. Here are 7 Black manufacturing companies that you can use to bring your product line to life. Sean Simon Company, or is it Sean? I'm going to say Sean. Sean Simon Company is Black-owned U.S. manufacturing company that specializes in custom designs for all brand needs. As one of the fastest growing independent manufacturers in the state of California, Sean Industries' mission is to provide timeless quality merchandise that reflects the essence of each brand with excellence. They are able to help brands with fabric sourcing, pattern making, and sample building.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
Now I'm going to take it back before that part. Tanner is a Black-owned cotton farm in Alabama.
Okay.
This is what I was talking about. Let's go to the source.
Right, let's do it. Okay, so that's the whole cotton farm.
Cotton farm. And it's Black-owned. It's named Tanner. It's in Alabama. It was Bridgeforth, Alabama.
Okay.
It says it dates back to 1877.
How about that?
You see anything on that?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Tanner Cotton. Hold on. What is that? Oh, that's the man's name. Shut up. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Wait a minute. No. I'm
No, it's located in Tanner. It's located. It's
That's his
located
name,
in.
honey.
Check it out. It's
Okay,
located
Tanner
in
Cotton
Tanner.
Gin.
No, and located in Tanner, Alabama. Okay.
Uh-huh.
The name of it is Bridge Forth.
Bridgeforth. Okay, there we go. I got
Yeah,
it.
Bridge Forth Farms. Got it. And that's dated back
Are
to
they black?
Yep.
Bridgeforth Farm is a black-owned farm located in Tanner, Alabama, that dates back to 1877. It all started when George Bridgeforth Sr., who was formerly enslaved, began buying land in North Alabama following the Civil War. His goal was to establish a farm and to begin growing his family with his wife, Jenny. By the 1900s, the Bridgeforths had welcomed 9 children. Their first son, wait a minute, where's my mouse? Okay. Um, Wait a minute. I lost my place because I couldn't find my mouse. Um, what is going on here? Come on. I said no, that's why. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Wait a minute. Okay, here we go. By the 1900s, the Bridgeforths had welcomed 9 children. Their first son, George Ruffin Bridgeforth, making history as the first black student to attend Massachusetts Agricultural College in 1897. And their second son, Isaac Ike Bridgeforth, studied at the Tuskegee Institute. In 1902, the eldest Bridgeforth child had gone to study with Booker T. Washington and George Washington Carver at the Tuskegee Institute. And by 1910, George Ruffin Bridgeworth was the largest black landowner in Limestone County. He went on to found the Southern Small Farm Land Company, which served as the basis for Beulah Land, a North Alabama farming community. The Bridgeforth family continued to grow their land holdings and perfect their farming capabilities up through the third and fourth generations of Bridgeforth farmers. By 1988, Darden Bridgeforth, son of Isaac Bridgeforth, and his 8 sons, had made history as the largest cotton producers in the state of Alabama, boasting more than 400 acres of cotton, along with soybeans and corn. Darden eventually retired in 1990, passing away just 6 years later and leaving the farm duties to his sons. Today, their sons run the farm. Many of the Bridgeforth men returning home after pursuing careers in other major cities like New York and Washington, D.C. Now, the family owned and operated farm is taking on a new task, becoming a supplier for Target's new collection of Black History Month shirts. The popular Billy Bridgeforth is the graduate of the Alabama A&M University class of 1980. Recently, the social media page Target While Black took to Instagram to highlight the Bridgeworth shirts, Bridgeworth Farm shirts. All right, so I showed you guys the small black brands that are in Target for Black History Month collection. But did you know that there are also black-owned cotton inside the shirts? The user says. She then proceeds to show the tag attached to each shirt that features a picture of the Bridgeforth farm along with a little blurb about the farm's rich history, legacy, and the amount of total fiber they've contributed to each shirt. The family also took to social media to highlight their new partnership, writing, "We're so proud to announce that our arrival at Target. It's an honor for us to say that some of the BHM T-shirts have been made from cotton we raised. We've come a long way to make this happen, and we hope you enjoyed as much as we have during every step of this process. In an era where Black businesses matter, sustainable sourcing matters even more. Support Black businesses from conception to production all the way to completion is the only way to truly be an ally. We hope businesses follow Target's lead and create space for true inclusion. See more about the Bridgeforth below. Okay, that's the link to their Instagram page. I
Well,
want to know what their products are.
well, they're going to be up and come August because come to find out, between August and from August to October is when you pick the cotton.
How about that?
That's the cotton picking season.
Pun intended. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
The things that you learn.
All right, 3.5% of dairy farms are black owned as well. See, this is you know what? Y'all know what I get a kick out of?
We don't know this stuff. Why we don't know this?
We don't know this stuff. And have y'all ever noticed that anytime I highlight a black owned product, it's because it's in areas that we don't think that we belong or have product in, which is why I like to push True detergent, why I like to push Ujama light bulbs and carry on.
Hey, that True detergent really, really works well.
I tried to tell you. I done told y'all.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I buy. That is the only thing that I buy. And if I can't find it, okay, if I can't find it, which now we got two places, because I used to find at the African store over here. Okay, but now they are down here in College Park, down here at the Eaton Fresh now, our grocery store here. So they're starting to expand a little bit, and that there is fantastic. But if I can't find it, if they run out or whatever, then I may go back to something that I used to use temporarily, just because I got to get this stuff out of here, right? But no, I stick to the True. That's all I buy now. And then I just found out that there's other black-owned laundry detergent. Cute.
It's like you're saying, we have such a slave mentality instilled in us as a people that we feel like certain industries of America we're not included.
Exactly.
And you'll be surprised, you'll be surprised at the things that Black people actually are involved in. You know what I'm saying? From why it take me all to get as grown as I am to know that we had Black vineyards, and you know what I'm saying, and just 3 years ago,
right? Okay,
it's been 3 years. No, 2 years ago. It was just 2 years ago that I found out that we have a whole Black farm industry of hemp growers.
Right. Listen. Okay, I still want to go down there to that farm.
But that just blew me, and it still blows me today. It's like, you would think we ain't got no parts of that. You know what I'm saying? They might catch me with a load and I'm going to jail. But no, these people are legitimately licensed farmers and got thousands of acres of land where this stuff is on it.
Right. Exactly.
And I just don't know. I think people should once a week look up things that they could possibly think that we have nothing to do with as a people, and just see if it exists.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I totally agree. I totally agree. What is sorghum? Are y'all hip to sorghum? SORGHUM. I've seen the flower, but I don't know what it's for. Let me see what that's used for, because that's another one of their crops.
Well, I'm gonna start it off. Okay.
Okay.
This is gonna blow you. Off the hanger. A Black-owned business. Off the hanger. A Black-owned business. The lady's name is Lynette LaShawn. And what I'm seeing is Did you ever think that we own a hanger company that makes the hangers you hang your clothes up with?
Shall get the flip up out of here. You said I was thinking you were going there because off the hanger.
Bruh,
Get up out of here.
bruh.
See,
just
that's the
want
kind of,
to-
you know what? Listen to me. Oh God, I get excited when I think about this. I want to take and everything that Killer Mike did in his Trigger Mike little series that he did on Netflix.
I just feel like
That
you need
first episode where he said, I want to do and did 3 days and do nothing but buy black.
right.
Okay. Which and quite as a that's what got me into being on the look that like I am now. Okay. That's how I found the telephone, the figured phone. Okay.
Right.
Which needs some work, but okay. But that's how I found it because I didn't know nothing about it. Okay. I'm like, what? Now here we are talking about hangers, detergent. Okay, that's hand in hand. Then and then the father got the detergent. The son do the underwear, men's underwear. What? Come on now. You understand? I mean, the whole idea of that. You know, listen, and then and now True got detergent. They got the fabric softener. They even got dryer sheets now, which is fantastic. Okay. Sorghum is a strong grass, contains small amounts of iron, vitamin B, and niacin. It's a gluten-free grain. Yeah. Because I was pulling it up here too, and they were saying that it's a versatile crop. Sorghum is an ancient grain that is high in protein, rich in antioxidants, and naturally gluten-free. It can be grown as a grain of forage or sweet crop and is one of the top 5 cereal crops in the world. Have mercy.
That is, you know what? I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna because I'm gonna. You know what? And this right here. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it because you know who I am. But that's why they so hard on us and so hard at us because they know. Because I'm gonna tell you something how sneaky the old fake dollar is, right? The non-American dollar, okay? The Archie Bunker dollar is so sneaky, right? Because they know this stuff. They invest in this stuff and they make millions off of this stuff. But on the other side, they got a problem with you.
Exactly.
But they'll never share with the world where their money comes from. And they actually invested in the ones they hate. You hate black people, but all your money is in the stock for a product that they doggone create or they own, or some type of service that they created, or some type of mechanism that they created. Like, you know, did you know that you can invest? I'm finna snap. Did you know you can invest in the people who doggone digitally makes the lights, street lights and stop lights and stuff like that? Did you know you can invest in that for the technology as it grows? Did you know that?
No, I did not.
But who created it?
Right. That's us.
Oh.
Yeah, that's us. Yeah. Also used to make edible oils as in alcoholic beverages. Okay. It is primarily grown in the United States and South Africa. How about that? Now check this out, because I'm going down here with the Bridgeworth Farms, and these are their crops. It's a growing row crops across more than 10,000 acres, spanning 4 counties in North Alabama. 10,000 acres, Jesus, and they own all that land. They produce cotton, corn, soybeans, wheat, sorghum, and canola.
In that order.
You hear me?
You don't even want to hear this.
Yeah,
21 black-owned stationery companies in the world.
no, don't do it.
Stationery.
Stationery. Yeah.
Paper.
Uh-huh.
And it's a black-owned paper mill.
Where?
I had to pull it back up. That's how I got to the
See,
stationery.
that's what I'm talking about. See, that kind of stuff there. This is why before I swear, before I leave this planet in what I say 21, 25, yeah. Is that right? No, 1970. No, it's 2095. That makes me 125. Yeah. 2095. That's what, yeah. Okay. I want, if I open up a club, I want everything in that club to be black owned. I want all the black owned liquors and things. I want the glasses to come from black manufacturers and carry on to where we got black glass makers and things. I want to see what that looks like. There is not any. We so caught up in Goose and Ciroc and this and another. Yeah, those are black names on it, but they don't. They lent their name. They getting that's a licensing fee. That's a licensing fee to protect my brand. I got that in my pedigree because I don't hear that Diddy makes the damn Ciroc. I just think it's his because he put a name on it. You see what I'm saying? I want to go to where we got the Uncle Nearest and carrying on
where they actually where they actually doing the spices in the distillery. They walking through the distillery, making sure, making, you know what I'm saying, knowing that, people don't know the type of grains and nuts that it takes into making it stuff. People don't understand that.
A completely black owned. Could you imagine that to where in my office I got office furniture that's a black owned. Hell, we did that at wood shop to where the furniture come from that. You just said we got black owned stationery. So all my paper supplies, my folders, my papers for the printers and carrying on. Could you imagine that?
That would be something, a miracle.
And the thing of it is that we shouldn't have to imagine that so hard, and it's such a novel because if we deal with black businesses like we do everything else, okay, which is why to have more than one is always awesome because there's room at the pot. Look at how we do with everything else. If you don't like Bounty, what you go get? You get Viva. If you don't like Viva, you get Bounty. If you don't like Bounty, you get the store brand. All that's paper towel. How come we can't do that with our own? And see, now you see how this conversation done springboarded. See how this is an unexpected bloom. I guess this, you know how when you fry chicken and that damn grease pop. This is one of those popping moments. Okay. Because that is what we need to learn. Y'all want to shut that down? And then you want to make light of what our people went through over here because you tired of it being talked about. And then you don't want, again, I go back to Condoleezza Rice, and I was so evil with her when she said this. When Condoleezza said that we do not want.
Support me.
What are you doing?
Going to school and made to feel bad or uncomfortable
TV show
because they're hearing about a time that they didn't exist in. But yet, at the same token, you never say anything about black kids who got to listen to that same horror about blacks being lynched and this and this and this and this and this.
Did you know there was a black-owned bicycle manufacturing company? I'm starting to get irritated.
You understand? Here, wait a minute. The research department, do this. Get me a black-owned exercise equipment store or manufacturer. Do manufacturers.
Do manufacturers.
And the reason why I'm stressing that is because with all of our health disparages that we as a people are just integrated with over here in this country, there should be black-owned manufacturers for exercise equipment and all that kind of stuff to help us out. You know, and not just the Sean T's and Karen O who do the exercise videos, because that's cute. We got to start with that. But who's the distributor on that? They're not distributed by black-owned distributors, so the money still don't come to us. He make the money because it's his product, but his distributor company, he's in a distributing deal.
Right.
See.
Harlem Cycle, Trill Lift, Effective Brownstone. Boy, come on, bro. Stop playing with me right now. I'm finna pull up a full list.
There are over 35 black-owned fitness
companies, right?
Okay. See, these are the kinds of things that we need to look into.
Luca Lift.
What the hell is a Luca lift? What?
If you see the girl on this, she looks like a Luca. You got PRU Apparel. That's black on. That's the workout stuff. The clothing.
17 black-owned fitness brands. See, this is the kind of stuff that we need. And when we're talking about, see, the problem or what the solution is to start taking our monies and our economic power and putting it here. Imagine if these same fitness companies were able to sit up there and be as big as the Jenny Craigs and the Weight Watchers. You understand? Especially for us.
They would be that big if your cousin stopped shopping with the old face.
Well,
stop shopping with the old phase and stop saying shopping with the people that got 99 on the back of everything they sell. I mean, real talk.
Listen.
Why you don't buy Black and Mild from Black Billy? No, you go down there and get it from Hakana.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. I'm just saying, like, okay, girl, I just went and bought these leggings. They so fire. They got the holes cut up the side. Where you get them from? She who wah.
Right. That? That part. Okay. That part. Indeed.
You didn't get them from Brenda. She got a case of them in the garage. She's selling them.
That part. Indeed. Okay. Wow. And let me say this, since we on Bridgeforth Cotton and carrying on. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping and praying that just because we got black owned in the cotton business again, that y'all not gonna sit down here and play the whole, well, how they still picking cotton and blah blah yakety spleen. Mm-mm. You understand?
Look.
What?
You gotta remember how much and how many uses there are for cotton in the world.
Exactly.
So yes, cotton was detrimental to our people as a whole. It's a frown and a blur. of bad times, but at the same time,
Gym rat.
how intelligent is a black man that bought back his freedom, bought back land one at a time, bought himself out of slavery,
Okay.
and created generational wealth that's still today. They multimillionaires in an industry that drug their family through the mud.
Right. Okay.
Again, that's why I told you. Them folks really love us.
Right.
They just mad because they people, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't.
Right.
You know, who's to say leprosy wasn't acne and it came from white folks? I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right. Yeah, this gym wrap is owned by Nicole Ari Parker. I'm on the website, right? And she's doing a lot of head wraps and fitness gear for women. You know, leggings and carried on and all that. You know, they got little nice little scarves, the sweat rags and all that. Nice and stylish and all. You know, it's cute.
Why do I know that name?
Nicole Ari Parker, honey, from Soul Food, the TV series. Married to Boris Kojo.
Oh, my side chick. Yeah, she too.
Okay. So yeah. So see how this turned out. This just went to a whole new nuance coming from Florida and dealing with the fact that they are choosing to take our education in areas to where if we allow that to stand still and don't do anything about it, then that's on all of us. Now, of course, because we're not living there, it's not up to us to go down there to necessarily protest on their behalf because we can't vote. We go down now, we can make some noise about it, but the people down there are the ones that got to go to their people because they got voting power. But we got to help them put pressure. We got to help them put pressure, and what we need to do is get a copy of that damn the write-up on it,
Right,
and how it's written in things. We need to sit down there and we need to study and examine that so that we can get all the loopholes in it, because what will happen is other states will try to adopt that same policy, tweak it here and there to make it state related.
especially this state.
Hello. And
Right.
then trying to say, okay, but the model would be after that. Buck, you in here, do you remember when Governor English shut down all of the mental health hospitals in Michigan? When he and at the time, when he did that in Michigan, that there became the model across the country. Because everybody then said, "Hey, who was president at the time? Was that Reagan or Bush Senior?" When they did that, they loved that idea. The country loved it, and it became federal policy. To where they started shutting down mental health hospitals, and in New York, that's 95. Because I remember in New York, that's when Giuliani was mayor, because that was his slogan: "If you don't like it, turn the lights out when you leave." You know, and so because of that, we then started to see how other states, when they like something, and then how parties start to stick behind one another, how then they start to adopt policies that was working in other states to show their solidarity with their party. So this is why we have to get a copy of that to see exactly what they approved. We need to take and go through it with a fine-tooth comb and understand and recognize what the hell that damn thing is, so we know it like we know our names.
Yeah,
so that way, when they try to come here and do everything else, we could stop that shit.
There's not such a thing as try. They're coming.
What you say?
It's better to go ahead and be prepared, because Florida always do some more crazy racist stuff, and then Georgia, and then Georgia gets it and melts it across the map. they don't pour it like Georgia come bogus with, Florida come bogus with it, but Georgia, they come and they either try to slip it in on a vote that you hear nothing about, or they doggone just pour it in, or they stick something on this knucklehead's desk and he signs off on it.
Exactly.
So people got to pay attention to what's going on around here, because anytime that you're a governor of a state that has so much going on when it comes to our youth, right?
Right.
And you got the audacity to do away with all the funding for youth programs to help them. Let me ask you something. When the last time you heard a Girl and Boy Club and see how they disappeared in front of you, right behind?
Now, it's funny that you should mention that, because it's starting to pick up a little bit in the news, and that's only because of Denzel.
Okay, and that's it. But think about here.
But here, I don't even know of one here in Georgia.
They dissolved. They dissolved right in front of our face without any doggone voting rights, anything about the neighborhoods getting involved, keeping them open. They're gone. At the same time, he took the funding away for Scared Straight.
Yeah, exactly.
There's nothing to help these wayward youth and these males, females,
Right.
whatever. He took it away.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Now, okay, boom. It becomes, what do we do? Okay, and what is the model? Because we need to develop a model that's going to be classic. Okay, that can stand the test of time, that can be tweaked as technology tweaks. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, the Scared Straight program that we knew don't work in today.
It don't work
because
today.
now we have back when, what was that, the early 2000s and everything, right when you said everything was dissolved, right when we started to have that prison pipeline to where they put the boys in jail, but yet they offered them rap contracts when they got out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when they were funneling all that, we allowed for that to become a rite of passage. And when that became the rite of passage, now we got all these little hoodlums and little wannabe thugs or whatever, thinking that they got to go to jail to go get their street cred in order to make it make sense for them to have some believability, and they bought that life. But that's us. We made that happen.
But
because either we sat back and didn't do nothing, or we didn't have enough power when we said stop it.
But they dropped some of them crimes. They dropped the age to some of those crimes. You can have a 13-year-old go to a regular jail based on the type of crime he did.
Exactly. Now, what sense does that make? You know, what sense does that make? And then too, now this is going to be controversial. This is going to be controversial.
I don't
because here's why I am with that. I don't think that they need to be in regular prisons with adults, especially when you know what the hell goes on behind them walls. Ain't nobody stupid. We ain't crazy. Okay? At the same time, we have to do something to let these kids know that being in juvie ain't what it all is cracked up to be neither. Because juvie becomes a slap on the wrist, and because the punishments are not necessarily strong enough or whatever, they come back out here, and so juvie does nothing but it's become an incubator for prison. Because if they're not doing no serious time or whatever, hell, they get back out. They know, hell, I'm gonna get, because I'm under 18, they can't do but X amount of whatever. So hell, they got this long ass rap sheet until they get 18. Then when they get hit with some real time, well, hell, they just move on in.
Right.
So these are some of the things that when I was supposed to, I got to find the card because I talked to one of the guys from 100 Black Men. I asked him, I wanted him to come on the show.
Well, today, I mean, there's no secret. I want to get this out the way, man. We laid my nephew to rest. He got back. The funeral was today. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Everything was cool. I had off-duty police, plus I had full security force there.
Okay.
I had a guy named Craig. I know I had him. His whole security team was there. They armed security. So, but look how sad that is that we had to do that for a funeral.
Right.
Matter of fact, I'm just so surreal when you think about these young. Let me see something right quick. Let me see. I think I can share my screen, can
I? Maybe. See if you can.
Hold on. Here you go. Can you see it? Can you see it?
Okay. Wait a minute.
Can you see it?
Hold on. I got it here. Let me see if I can add it to the screen.
I'm saying you got the image I have.
A family member speaks out after campaign shooting.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Can everybody see it?
You see it on the screen because I'm sharing it here. I pulled it up.
Oh, because I can see it on my screen. I was trying to figure out.
Yeah, but we don't have no sound.
Hold on. Can you hear it?
No, take it out.
And her nephew to gun
there we
violence.
go. There we
Now
go.
she's begging anyone with information to come forward. Her family is pleading for answers and wants justice. That shooting happened near State Street and Fox Drive in a parking lot on Thursday. WCI3's Jamal Williams joins us. Jamal, this family is hurting.
That's right, Marley. It's been 2 days since 20-year-old Jaheim Law was shot in the head and another woman in the leg after a large gathering in a parking lot that turned deadly. His aunt Latrice Jones says the family hasn't been the same since.
It's an ill feeling. It's a feeling I can't even explain.
It's never easy losing a loved one, and Latrice Jones is still wrapping her head around the fact that her nephew is gone.
My nephew was a hardworking man trying to take care of his 2 babies. He was at work when this happened. This happened in broad daylight.
20-year-old Jaheim Law was shot after 2 large group gatherings.
He didn't hang outside.
Jones says he wasn't involved in violence.
He went out there being protective of his girlfriend, trying to get her to come back into the Taco Bell, and he wound up getting shot in the head.
Law was taken to the same hospital Jones works at.
When I asked, I was told that, yeah, we had 2 victims come in.
Ooh, girl.
She says finding out it was Law was one of the worst days of her life, and it's been difficult to keep it together. It's been especially hard for her sister Kizzy Jones, Jaheim's mother, who still doesn't believe it's real.
My sister because she can't sleep. She can't sleep. She can't eat. She won't.
Jones says sister is too emotional to talk about losing her son, but has one request from the community.
Don't let this get swept up under the rug. We tired of burying our kids in Champaign County. This is ridiculous. Say something. If you know something, say something.
I reached out to police for an update, and they say there's nothing more at the time. Jones says her family will be having a funeral for Jaheim Law sometime in the near future. In the meantime, they're organizing a GoFundMe page for his memorial service. Marley?
Now, I'm going to tell you something. That was yesterday evening. That's Travion's mother, my ex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was yesterday. God knows this is not the way we wanted it, but somebody out there had a heart because that boy got caught this morning. But
that's such a bittersweet statement because we glad he got caught, but then it's like, damn.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now we got 2 lives gone over
stupid stuff. Senseless.
Senseless. And
And everybody wants to look crazy at me when I feel like this is what the stuff that I've been wanting to attack ever since. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've always said this right here. Okay, let's not be prude. Let's not doggone turn our nose up at certain situations. If you don't understand it and you're an old prude person or you got set in your ways through your church or whatever you got going on, then guess what? Unfortunately, just like when you was out there in a poodle skirt, well, somebody's out here in a mini skirt right now. Okay, come on, bro. It's at one point you got to be like, okay, let me take the stick out my tail and doggone let them lead.
Right.
The people that's not afraid to approach these people, the people that know how to meet them where they're at.
Right. Exactly.
If we're to assist in this kingdom of God's kingdom and the kingdom of Christ, and we're supposed to be helping save souls, well, then why are you not allowing us to do so? Why are you blocking these youth out of what? A lot of them are interested in doggone church. A lot of them are interested, but they not going to approach you because guess what? You got on a suit and your nose stuck in the air and you clenching your purse when they walk up and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
So if you already got me as monster, I might as well stay a monster because you're not even going to say good morning to me.
Because it becomes a game at that point. If I could go up there and say, boo, you know how we do with folks? You know how we do with people. You know, if they scary, what do? We sit up there, wait till they all good at TV. They come out, just so that they can scream.
But a black young man that don't have people, you know what I'm saying, don't have nobody, and he knows right from wrong, but he don't know how to seek it.
Right.
He doesn't know how to find refuge in the good. The bad is always going to have their arms open for you because they want you.
Because it's number one, because it's easy to do. It's
easy to do. The bad is going to greet you with open arms, but the good, when you say, "Hey, ma'am," you can say, "This is hypothetical. Hey, ma'am, how you doing this morning? I always see you going to that church over there. Is it a nice church?" They be like, and they don't even acknowledge what you just said. Right. So what you just do to that person?
Right.
But you're a Christian.
Right. Right. That part. Okay. Now, listen, I'm gonna let that be because I'm already talking about Jamal Bryant and how they jumping on him. I did a whole thing on that. Whole hour and a half.
I get it, man, but I just get so pissed off. Don't preach and teach one thing and do another.
Right. Right.
Okay. Don't Matthew 7 me because that's a sin. You judge me, you're going to end up judging yourself. That's what's going to happen. You got a problem, you don't understand? Your little phone got King James, go to the NIV, Matthew 7. Check it out. It might be a mirror to you.
Oh, how about that? Oh, Lord. But all of this stems from just understanding how they're trying to now, here we go. I'm going to say something again. Black women, period. Since y'all on the trans community about fucking being erased, they trying to erase women. Where is your outrage about the history? Where is your outrage here? Because now they're trying to erase everything about Black women, about Black men, and how we came over here in this country. They're trying to reshape, rechange, transmogrify everything about what it is about us here. Now, if you're going to be mad at one part of the community because you say your existence is being erased, I need to hear this same fervor when it comes to this particular thing here. Because
why you didn't stand up for us when we were being erased and replaced with doggone food stamps and Section 8 and subsidized housing and all that crazy mess? What happened then? Why you didn't stand up for the black man then? Maybe that black man that ain't ish, he would be something instead of being not ish. Guess what? You assisted them in making us not ish. Congratulations.
Well, can't touch that one. So, and boom, just mic drop. Okay, just mic drop. Okay, mic drop. You know who I would love to interview right about now, especially coming in right here, and that would be I always tell her name up. Shahrazad Ali.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say it right? I always tell her name up. Okay.
You and every other media person.
I would love interview her. Okay. All right, but so in that, just because, you know, at the time that her message was going forth, I was young, and I'm telling you, I couldn't hear it at the time. I could not hear it. And then at the same time, I was too busy being fabulous, honey, so I was on my own thing, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But when I go back and look over stuff, you know, I still ain't got that whole slapper in the mouth thing. I got to go through that too. I got to hear that in context. But listening to her, when she talks about a number of things that we go through, and how, you know, the black family, when I'm like, oh, same thing about how Reverend Ike was talked about. Reverend Ike was everybody thought he was a charlatan and blah 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 blah. He wasn't no real preacher. He wasn't no nah. He wasn't no nah. Okay. But when I listen to his teachings now, because he was basically liberation theology before it was turned, or the coin was turned, I believe. I'm totally in alignment with him. Totally. So I'm like, okay, but I would love to have those particular conversations now. You know, because yeah, and then we need to develop a plan. And part of that, this is part of my homework assignment, because you know, going for public office or whatever, hell, this is challenging me. Put your money where your mouth is. You know, yeah, as a mayor or whatever of a city or whatever, how do we engage that? You know, because now everything is about that. We're talking about our curriculums and carrying on. How do we engage that? How? And then here's the other thing that I just thought about. What about what they're doing for charter schools? Because see, they're saying that came from their Board of Education. So all the charter schools because charter schools are public schools, they have to follow the same curriculum.
Wait a minute. Have you seen, matter of fact, have you seen the commercials that's out now where they're promoting you to homeschool?
No.
I thought I just dropped my remote on the floor. I just
what?
The new wave is promoting homeschool, and they got a whole package. If you call the Board of Education, they have a whole pack set up for you, and you can just do it via mail, pick it up, and then just turn the stuff in yourself and just do it at home.
So now we're taking public education and making it a home correspondence course.
And now, okay, hold, it gets better. Now, the top choice of higher education is no longer the universities. Like we went to, Instagram University. It's not the university no more. It's the trade schools. They get their accreditation. They getting all the money. They can raise their tuition because now the commercials and now all the pushing for the government is for you to go get a trade, because the nigga with a trade over here, he got a trade of a carpenter, right?
Right.
So that means he probably dabbled in that before he went to trade school. Now he's certified, not degree, because they only got certifications out of trade school. Now he's certified. I'm gonna hire him before I hire the wood specialist with the masters. This is what's going on right now. When did trade school become the top higher learning?
When they packaged it as the STEM program. Science, technology, what's the E? Environmental and math, I think is what it is. Okay. It became STEM because, of course, they're trying to get folks, because us as a people, we don't gravitate to those, or we've had less opportunities to go into those areas, right? So now that they're making everything STEM, which is cool, I got it. But I think that there became the umbrella term, and now they're able to slide all this other stuff up under the umbrella.
Right.
You know, to where, again, I know here in College Park, our College Park High School is becoming one of these, it's a high school technical training kind of thing, right? To where it's STEM and everybody could come out, they're coming out of there degreed and certified.
Right.
Okay. So that was one thing that I knew that was different. We get degreed and certified, and they'll be job ready. So they come out of there going right into the jobs. Okay. And they're supposed to be doing it to where we're partnering with folks and things, and going to make that happen to where, you know, we can build families and all that kind of jazz. And I'm like, okay, that's cute.
I'm not buying none of this crap that they shoveling into the world right now. I'm not purchasing it. Not even if they gave me a blank check to buy it with. I'm not doing it.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the problem is you made the grasp of higher learning, top-rated opportunities seem like it was so far from our fingertips,
right,
as people, where it's easy to sell us something to sell for less.
Right.
And I just think that is so many ways wrong. Because I'm gonna think about it. Think about this. When it comes to collegiate excellence, right? We have always been one of those people, along with Asians, that prevail.
That's true. That's true.
Okay. So, with this in mind, are you trying to slow down the intellectual growth of us as a people?
Right. Right.
Are you trying to make sure that you put out more blue collars than white?
Yet again.
Another formality of slavery.
Okay.
I'm going to train you up to swing these hammers and get these blisters and tote this wood for me, while I take the martyr and the personal commutes down to my office in the sky.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It's
yes.
Nobody's paying attention to this stuff, but I'll be looking at it all the time. And the crookedness. Like you have you ever noticed something? Okay.
What?
Have you ever noticed that some things that people in corporate or America or judicial America, you know what I'm saying, or prestigious places, or even places of theology, they shovel particular things to particular people from the same places, but they make sure that the people they shoveling certain things to, that, you know, it's like, you only going to get this. Don't tell them about that, but tell them about this.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? It's like they pick and choose what they want you to grasp hold to, because they want to make sure whatever they give you, the growth is stifled.
Okay. Right. Right.
And nobody's paying attention to this. And I'm sitting back, I'm going, am I crazy or something? Like, that's like even with the certain situations you know about me. How do you have so much time to chase after me?
Right. Okay. That part. Okay.
How do you have so much time to chase after me when I'm surprised at what be going on because I ain't had two thoughts about you?
Right. That part.
And people ask, do you want to be famous? No. No. Because, I mean,
Right.
bruh, all I'm saying, people, I love my people. I love people as a whole. I don't have no hate for nobody, you know what I'm saying, regardless of how you mistreat me, how you backbite, how you doggone act shady and everything else, because I ain't the one that got to answer to your shadiness.
Right.
Especially if you old enough to know better. You gonna catch it worse than anybody. But I tell people, look, let me do me, because what I do for me in my space is not always for me, it's for others. That's a lot of things people
Right,
realize.
exactly.
People don't realize that the more we do for others, the more our own stuff will build up.
Okay.
I mean, it's like this. Do you remember when that lady almost took us out on Old National when they wrecked my car?
Right. Uh-huh.
It was after everything was letting out on Old National. So that means it's lines of cars, right?
Right.
She hits us in the lane closest to the curb at the Taco Bell by you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We in that lane closest to the curb. So there's a whole nother lane on my left side, correct?
Right.
They're bumper to bumper at the Gobby light. She's in my lane behind me, 80 miles an hour. Bam! Do you know she fled the scene and they let her out? You telling me right next to me in the next lane, you didn't see this woman almost kill everybody in the car and you're going to let her out?
Right. Right. Ah, right. How about that? Uh-huh. Right.
What kind of, here we go, Fraganackle bull.
You understand, okay? Exactly.
Man, you know what, brother? Jesus. Look,
exactly.
I just like, why is everybody out for self-gain? You know what I'm saying? You know, I have lawyers taking care of certain stuff in my life, dealing with major people, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That don't like to take care of their business. So you got to put a lawyer on them to get your job done.
Right,
okay,
right.
Okay. But here it is. You using a lawyer to fight the people because they crooked as heck and don't want to give you what's due to you. But then the lawyer turn around and start doing crooked stuff to you.
That part. Okay, that part.
I'm just confused. I'm confused. Here it is. I've already won it by myself.
Right. On my own.
Because but you're still sending paperwork for me to sign off on for you to pursue other stuff that's not necessary. I got the trump card. I have already deemed I can't go no more than what I got. I got the big boy. Boom. I can't get nothing else. Okay.
Right.
So what you're trying to do is make money for doing nothing, because they're gonna shoot you down. They'll tell you, no, there's nothing else you can do. I'm capped out. What are you doing?
Exactly.
But they literally trying, but not understanding that if they found anything, you're disrupting what I got and could possibly take it to a whole nother level of reversal and put me back and destroy my household. What are you doing?
Right.
All because you want enough for an outfit and a few shoes?
Yeah, that's about right.
It's about left over here because I'm not signing nothing. them apples? How you like them apples? I'm not signing nothing. So I'm not. I just thought that was just crazy. People are just crooked.
Yeah, and yeah again. I'm sitting up here as you're talking. You know, I got into this whole thing, and I was trying to find black furniture manufacturers, and I'm coming across black-owned furniture companies. I've come across some black furniture designers. Okay, but the history that they had about black furniture manufacturers, there was only one that they were talking about. Henry Boyd, which African American owned a furniture manufacturing company. In the 1830s, after saving enough money to purchase his freedom from his enslaved brother, and sisters back in Kentucky, Henry Boyd established his own furniture shop in Cincinnati, Ohio. He specialized in the manufacture of bedsteads, which were advertised as quick and easy to assemble, sturdy, and vermin-proof.
Vermin-proof.
Yeah, vermin, honey. So yeah, that's going to be something I look into later on, because I'm just here, and all of this stems from us trying to get our education together. Now I'm going to go into something else. Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, Coach V? Okay. Where you been, princess?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. But let's get into here. Now, where do I want to go? What should I do? I'm going to pose this question, and then I'm going to go into the other one, because the question is, let's see, how do you really feel about artificial intelligence? And this is on the heels of the writer's strike and the actor's strike and carried on. And I know we're looking at it as entertainment, but this is very real, and we're very early in all of this. How many of y'all? I commented on someone's story today, Facebook story, because he had this suit that was, I'm like, oh my God, the color was, everything was very sharp and carrying on. And I said, oh, where did you get that suit from? And I thought he would say it was Al Remini, okay? But it's AI Remini. He said it was an app. I was thinking it was a store app or whatever. I'm trying to look for it. All I'm finding is AI shit. And I'm like, but tell me this is an enhanced picture of you.
No, you can buy the suit and wear it while you're doing your AI. When you go into the world, you can go and put the suit on in your closet.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're on this whole thing. And now let me be very clear. This is nothing new. AI is not new. It's just that it's advanced. Because remember, we was calling it CGI before. Computer graphic imaging.
Right.
Okay. We called it CGI. And so we could sit down and you don't have to hire. See, remember back when y'all go watch the 10 Commandments and carrying on, they had all them extras and background folks. Because of course we didn't have the technology then. Okay. So they had to have that many people and carried on the set. Now you can sit and do CGI, get a green screen. Okay.
And multiply 10 people.
You get 5 people, I can multiply them. We can sit there, change hair, change this, change that. Or better yet, I don't have to get real people. Because y'all remember what was it? During the pandemic when everybody was doing sports in the bubble. And so folks were paying to advertise, so they had the little dummies. They had the mannequins in hair and carrying on and in the seats. And folks were paying to advertise that way because they could put the advertisement in shirts or whatever on the mannequins. And then they would take that and with CGI, you could take that and then duplicate it out to make it look like thousands of people. So it's not like it hasn't been here. It's just that we did not expect for it to multiply to this particular stage, because now, let me go here. Remember what's the movie with Will Smith where he was fighting Gemini because it was his older self and he went back and he was fighting his younger self. Okay, and we were like, how in the hell did they do that? You know, damn, that's him when he was a kid. You know, we were trying to figure out how that was done. We called it CGI still, but when he sat up there and said they had to take and they had to pinpoint this, that, and the other to make it that, and then take a picture of his old self and fuse it on and blah 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 blah. They had to do all that. Okay. We also know that it can be done because when they go to the Madam the wax children to make the wax figure, and they do that same approach. They got to make sure your eyes and stuff, you know, to make it right. And all these math, for those of y'all who are into math, you want to do numbers and carrying on, want to know where you could use geometry, is in this kind of shit, because you got to understand the right amount of line space between, and my eyes crooked or whatever. We got to learn all that when they duplicated your image, okay, for the wax museum and carrying on, Madame Tussauds. So now we're here. And so now that the technology is at a point to where they could duplicate an actor's image. And once I take your image and AI that image, it's in the system now. So I don't really have to hire you anymore. I paid you already for this. Now I can sit down here and duplicate it out. Now I'm going to say something like it's a shock. This is what they do. They did this a long time ago in porn, where I paid you for the day, but because we shot all of this in the same day, I took the same clips and cut them clips up, and now I got 6, 7, 18 movies with you in it. I paid you for the day already, but I'm getting paid off of you 18, 19, 20 times. Okay, so here we are now with the same MO with AI. And so the contract is like, no, AI, what AI is doing to actors, what streaming did for music. Okay. Hey, I got to get paid for the streams. How am I, you know, how you sit up there making all the money off of my shit? And you want to pay me. This is why they're talking about making sure you get all the streams. Because I think they say for every 100 stream, they only get paid like a penny per stream or whatever. You know, it's 100 pennies in $1. So you think every 100 hits is only $1 that they get paid on certain platforms, which is why Tidal, which nobody talks about, who owns that? Is that Jay-Z's Tidal?
Yep.
His streaming platform, we don't talk about Tidal a lot. We always talk about Spotify. We always talk about Spotify, but his, according to what everybody's saying, Tidal was very fair with the artists because they get a bigger cut of whatever that is.
We do.
Okay. Huh?
I said, we do.
So that there is where, but we don't talk about that. See, we go Spotify, child, we go Apple, you know, iTunes. You know what I'm saying?
I go every one you name out your mouth. I go.
You know, so that there is something, but now that we're in this place where AI is looking to come and be the wave of the future. You know, I'm sure y'all looking online, everybody doing their little AI photos, and they cute. They really cute. Okay. You could get, you know, you could enhance, you know, they got it to where I can enhance the current picture. You know, You could
Well,
take go to who are artists or whatever, you draw and carry on, and it comes out, child, please. I'm like, oh, if this was real, honey, he's gorgeous. How come, and we get all of that.
see,
So
that's
now, what are we looking into? Because I've already personally said we're not gonna be happy until we are really total recall for real.
well, you got to understand this, and I learned this some years ago. Everything that we get here in the United States is 5 to 10 years old.
Right, because
They tested in Japan and China already.
I know. What you think Timo is? Look at we keep talking about Temu, honey, and we looking at the appliances. But y'all get the TikToks and stuff all day with the little Asian woman coming up in there and go unbox all that shit out of her closet and carrying on. And look what she's able to do and all this convenience and just sickening, ain't it? But Temu, honey, they've been doing all that forever and a day.
But here's the thing, you know what? We just had this conversation yesterday. Look, Temu is making a butt out of major manufacturers and the major department store. And let me tell you why, because we had a discussion. This was yesterday. It's a particular item of apparel that I have been looking for, right?
Right.
So when I said something about it to a buddy of mine, he said, man, go to Temu. He said, I don't pay nothing but $5, $6, $7, sometimes $13 for 2 and all that. I'm like, what?
Right.
So I go on there. Now me, being the person that I am, I'm a media dude. I go on there. I find what I'm looking for. I'm like, oh, them fly right there. I said, them look good. Okay, cool. And it was like $6.99.
Right.
I said, okay. So how are they $6.99 here? And if I take the same and look it up at Macy's, they $34, $65, $45.
Right.
I said, okay. So I hit them back, and I was like, that's the same brand that they sell over at the doggone department store, right? He said, that's what I was trying to say. He said Temu was making a fool out of these people because he said soon them buildings gonna be available. He said we're gonna be able to, Macy's and all of them gonna be available because Temu got everything they got in there. But he said whenever you mess around, they probably been getting it from Temu forever, and then they go pay $5 for a pair of pants and they sell it to us for $99.
Here we go with economics again. This is one of the reasons why our import has always been stronger than our exports, because we don't even value our own manufacturing companies here.
Exactly.
I'm still trying to understand how is it. I remember in the 80s, the late 80s, early 90s, I just still got Barbara Mandrell walking down the mall, honey. She said, Dacron. This is made in the USA, Dacron fabric. And she walking with her hair through the mall and carrying on because she was proud that it was shopped in America, right?
All right.
But a lot of folks started shipping everything over and having everything done in China because their taxes were cheaper. You can sit up there and do a whole warehouse full of stuff to have it manufactured, produced, and shipped. And all three things cheaper than what it was just to get it manufactured here.
That's true.
And we were like, okay, how do you do that in a country, honey? This is where we are.
Okay, question.
And I'm wondering, see, as I think about that, now that I'm it's coming to me, I am wondering if that was part of the plan because the United States owed China so much money. To where perhaps that there is our way of paying off a debt.
Well, it could be a way of paying off a debt because if you think about it, remember they was complaining, they had a big complaint about what China was going to do about the deficit that was owed to them and all that. And they was talking about TikTok, they was talking about TikTok and how China got much. They got too much control over there, and we finna ban TikTok and get rid of TikTok in the United States and all that. They was talking all that rah stuff, and then they started talking deficit. Then they started talking TikTok. Then they started talking deficit. Then they stopped talking about TikTok. No longer you hear no complaints about it.
Right.
And I said, for them to stop talking about it and stop complaining about it, guess what? Something's being taken care of. A bill being taken care of, or and now all of a sudden they got their little percentage, and they're like, okay, I ain't got to say nothing else.
Right. Right. So I'm just wondering, how we looking at that as a people. Y'all put y'all comments up there if you feel it and carrying on.
But you got to remember, Meech, everything here that's high, and the reason people would outsource like that is because the government can't keep their little grubby hands out of everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got to go like, bruh, if I make 100% of something and you take 60% of it, and then I got to pay 30% to the doggone to keep overhead bills and the whole 9 yards of payroll, then I have 10% of nothing. How am I reinvesting to keep my company?
Exactly. How do I keep it up? How do I keep it running? How do I pay my employees?
And then you turn around and tell me, here's how.
Yeah.
We'll give you a loan. Now, come on, man. This is
that part. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna loan you your money back.
Right. And then make you pay interest. and then make you pay me interest.
Right. I'm gonna loan you your money back and make
I'm gonna loan you your money back, but you're gonna pay me the interest off of it.
All right. And then you can continue to pay me my money that I'm loaning you.
Right.
The money that you owe me anyway.
Right.
The hell?
Right. And now if you get behind, here's what we'll do. We'll consolidate it.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I'll give you a loan to pay off the consolidation.
Yeah. Oh, here's a better one. Oh, you're manufacturing jeans and pants. I'll tell you what. How about for the next 5 years, you put out new uniforms that we're gonna have our designers send you to design for the military for free.
I see. You know what?
So now,
I was just about to say.
So now I'm gonna send you. So now, not only are you making your product, you're making a free whole line of military pants.
For military, right.
Your bill, and then they turn around and they give them to the soldiers, and they take it out the soldiers' check because they sell them to the soldiers.
Right. How about that?
Nigga,
how about that? Now you went there for manufacturing clothes. I was going to say make sure that you equipped to flip that bitch to where if we need to go to war, you make tanks and bombs. Yeah, I was. So we was. I was just about to say that when you said make the uniforms, I was going to say make the tanks and yeah.
So I don't care how you pay me back, you're gonna end up owing me some money.
Right. Okay. And yeah. Now listen, I was going to go into the whole Carlee Russell thing, but I need to get up out my feet. I've been sitting in this chair since I did the Big Meech moment.
And I was going to tell you, I'm gonna let you shut it down tonight because I'm gonna go up here.
But yeah, I got to get out of this chair and walk around for a minute because my feet feel like they're swelling, and I feel they're tingling. Not necessarily cold, but they're not hot neither. Is that in between funny, almost burn like feeling, or feel like if I was cold, I know it was cold, but I'm not cold. Both of my feet are doing that right now. So I've been sitting here too long. I got to get up and let my circulation go.
I gotta get about
I
gotta get about this chair too. I'm gonna walk around, get situated down here, and get in the shower.
Dig that. So let's go ahead and shut this on down. We're gonna try this again on tomorrow, children. We're still in our 14th anniversary celebration. This is still July. And we do thank and love you for all of
you. Oh my God. I have to tell you this. Southern Fusion Bistro.
You went.
Oh my.
Oh, don't you hurt my feelings.
Oh,
Don't you hurt my feelings.
God. Black owned.
Don't you?
Husband and wife.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God. Whew. I didn't know what to do with myself. I ordered the thing they have called the big breakfast.
Okay.
And the scrambled my leg. The eggs are perfectly how you want them to everything. If you say chives, they'll be in there. Every how you
Wow.
want them.
Uh-huh.
The sausage is the whole. Okay, like you got a Polish sausage, right?
Yeah.
The way they cut it, they only cut it one time, but they cut it on an angle, sort of like two spears.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
So like two pointed spears, and then
Yeah.
they stick in it, and they, so one standing up, so they stay like that. Okay, boom.
Okay.
Then, with that on the plate, what did I have? I had that. Oh, and I had the potatoes, the cube potatoes, and they come with grilled onions and peppers. They're red and green peppers, and then with the onions mixed. So, boy, and then over here on the right side, I had a Belgian peach cobbler waffle. Nigga, if that didn't taste like breakfast meets granny on Thanksgiving, and then over here, because I could not leave the building or not go in there without trying this. So my appetizer before my breakfast came, or my brunch, right,
Uh-huh.
was collard green egg roll with a doggone sauce that was so good. It was not over spicy. It was not under spicy. It was right in between, and it was like sweet and sour meets Harlem.
Oh.
And then they have a signature drink. That's that's the most famous drink in there.
Uh-huh.
Beverage, and it's called a peach palmer.
Not a peach palmer.
Bruh. It is a peach iced tea and lemonade mixture.
See, I knew you was gonna hurt my damn feelings.
Oof,
I
my
knew you were coming to hurt my damn feelings.
And the prices are not expensive.
See, that's what I'm talking about. So you got to know how to do these. Anything $20 and under is always the tea.
Oh, geez.
And especially when you got portions that match. Or not match, supersede. If your portions supersede your prices, that's going to always keep you running, because fat children like me and food love to eat.
Just know that waffle's the size of a plate.
See there? Yeah, I had to bring that home.
And then it's a Belgian, and it's got fresh peaches all across the top.
Don't do me.
The same mixture that's inside the peach cobbler is poured all over top of it. Oh my Jesus!
Oh.
It comes with a little cup of maple syrup that I never had to open.
You don't have to.
Never had to.
You don't have to. That's the one thing about those type of waffles. It's a dessert by itself. You don't need the syrup.
And you said that word. They had the audacity to offer dessert after the brunch. I said, boy, if you don't stop.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. I said, bro, time out, holding on the play. Y'all got it.
Yeah.
Literally did not have a long conversation, because my buddy I went to high school with, we went for breakfast. So we met over there. And we didn't even have a long conversation after breakfast. We talked during breakfast, before breakfast, whatever. But after breakfast, we both looked at each other and said, "Okay, let's get on our feet, bro." Because
Right.
automatic itis in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
He's like, because we both said, "Bro, let's get up and move around. You don't walk up out here."
Yeah. Yeah. We got to go.
And
Right.
then we both looked at each other and said, "Hey, we got to bring the wives over here." I said, "Yeah, we do."
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go invade that space.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they told me, I ain't trying to hold you up, but they told me
No, I'm good.
that they are location number 2 because the original location, and here it is, as long as I've been living here, it's right around, it's in Locust Grove.
What?
The original one is in Locust Grove all this time, and I'm thinking that was the new first one, and come to find out, I think his name is Chef Paul. You heard of him, black guy, Chef Paul? He's real famous.
Okay. Yeah, I think I do.
He used to have a place called Azura's or something. Everybody was going to out your way.
I think I remember. Yeah.
And then, okay, well, Chef Paul opened the original one here in Locust Grove, and it's totally just off the chain famous. And the husband and wife studied under him and franchised over there and took in all the recipes are identical. It's identical recipes. Whatever you eat at one, you eat at the other. They're gonna taste exactly
right, which is cute. So they're trying to make a brand, right?
Right. So it's identical no matter what you order each one.
Right.
But the husband and wife bought into the franchise and got the second one, the one we went to over here.
Oh, child.
I said,
I knew it. When I saw when I sent you the TikTok, the boys up there lost their damn mind. I'm like, see that's going. I'm gonna hurt myself.
Everything.
I'm gonna hurt myself. And pop every stitch out.
Everything that nigga had on that table on that TikTok, we had on our table. I'm talking about my boy. He ordered the cream grits with the fish.
Yeah.
Everything you saw on that man's table in front of him in that TikTok was on our table.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. See, I'm about ready to cry. I'm like, oh God.
I said, oh my God. Oh, Lord, you're such
I've got to experience that place there. I got to get back over to my sub shop, honey, my 2-foot-long sub shop. I haven't been there in a minute, and I got to get over there, go see.
You still ain't took me that one.
Oh yeah.
Because the last thing you turned me on to was last thing I think you turned me on to was the sandwich, the chicken thing, the big old chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, Chickalos over here in East Point.
Yeah, Chickalos, and then we did go to the Breakfast Boys.
Yeah, we went to Breakfast Boys.
Then we
your ass.
Then we went to the place Carly Red place.
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny
Chicken and Waffles.
You know, so we done been some dope places. I took you to Harold's Chicken and Waffles. We went to lunch that day, the lounge, and we gotta hit that. Yeah. I got to get Mavis back. Do you know? Oh, okay. I'm gonna say something. Go for Mavis update. Talk to my mechanic. Well, the way he got at the body shop. Okay, name Jose, and I got irritated because I did not know that he needed the estimate that they sent me, right? So I need to see that so I can see what they wrote. Blah, blah. I said, oh. And when he said paperwork, I'm thinking something else that he needed. He never said that. So I'm like, okay, I could have sent you this 2 weeks ago. All right.
Right? He said, well, email it to me. I said, okay, you want to email or should I text it to you? I said, because I got it right here on my phone. I can text it to you. He said, okay, text it. So I text. That was last week, Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. It's Monday. So I said, okay, well, let me see what the progress is. So I call, hey, what's the update? What's it looking like and carrying on? Oh, I couldn't see it. I'm gonna need you to email it to me. It was too small. I was like, it's on the phone. You couldn't blow it up, But and I didn't want to get too, irritated or whatever, because I'm like, okay, it's the weekend. You had all this time to tell me this, and you just now, and I had to call you to say it, for you to say it. Okay. So I immediately got on, sent it over. I got the check because I was waiting on the check.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so now I got to send them all this little coin. So I'm like, okay, we got to let it clear. Today's Friday.
All right.
I call because now I'm sitting up here, okay, yesterday I texted, what's the ETA on, getting it together, whatever, because I'm ready to pick her up. No answer. Okay, you got busy. So this morning I sent over $1,100 because I know, hell, the shit that got tied around up in here. I said, no, let me get this money out of me because if I don't, I'm gonna fuck it up, right?
Okay.
So I sent him the coin, and then I said, okay, check your Zelle because I got that. He said, oh yeah, I got it. I said, okay, well then tell me what's going on. You got the estimate or whatever. What did you find anything? Oh, I'm starting to order the parts today. You are starting to order parts. Nigga, you done had this car for a fucking month. And you are starting to order parts.
This your regular mechanic, right?
No. This is the guy that he's sitting because it's body work. So the guy he got helping him. So So I called my guy. I'm like, what's up? He said, okay, what's happening? I said, I done got frustrated as shit because your boy's sitting up here going through all these changes. He said, yeah, I'm sorry about that. He should have gone and told you. He said, because, folks are not like you. Folks will get that because he's been burned so many times with that insurance thing to where he usually don't do anything to after he get the money. I said, ain't nobody told me that. The fuck is this? All this time you got the damn car. Ain't nobody said nothing to me like, when you get the check, get it over here because he can't buy. He don't want to use his own money because he been burned. He wanted to make sure you legit.
All right.
Where's all that conversation?
Lack of communication.
Where's that conversation? Yeah. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Bad business.
Parts, which means that they're coming from everywhere. So some gonna take 2 days, some gonna take 4 days, depending on what you got to get. Because I need a new front end, the whole front end thing. Yeah. Yeah, we can't do accidents no goddamn no, honey. We just can't.
Man, let me tell you something. Leave them folks alone, bro. Go on and get when you get your car fixed, take it somewhere else. Leave them folks alone. Because I'm gonna tell you something. I sit up there and I listen to your stories about your regular mechanic and stuff, and when I go to calculating everything you tell me, you could have just took it to other people. It'd be the same price.
Okay, yeah, because
no, it seems like you're getting a deal, but you're really not. You're paying exactly.
No, it's not a deal. I just like his work because he was a mobile mechanic and he still is. That's how I met him through somebody else. So because of that, I only wanted Mavis to have one mechanic, right?
I just,
And
I just,
so
I mean, I understand that. I used to be that way. I used to be funny about like
yeah,
one guy in Champagne. They call him Motor Mouse. I won't let nobody touch. Nobody
right,
touch. I'll deal with him. But as I started progressing and buying, different vehicles. I'm like, you know what? I'm either gonna let the people who manufacture it or a person that's bonded, licensed, certified, a place that one mistake and you got to buy me a whole car and your insurance is covered and nobody's gonna cry about it. You know what I'm saying?
okay, right,
That's the reason I do that because it ain't nothing against the hustle mechanic or the back alley mechanic. Nothing against them. A lot of them I know do great work, awesome work. I,
hmm
I done had some. I done had some cars. Matter of fact, the 300 for instance. I ain't met nobody yet to have a Hemi 300 like I had that ran like
right,
mine. Mine ran like a 6-cylinder on the doggone interstate.
okay,
That whole V8 Hemi motor fast as all outdoor. That's everything that's in a Charger or a Challenger.
right,
But I crossed the Illinois state line before I need another tank of gas leaving here.
wow,
In a V8.
mm,
But that's, what I'm saying? But the guy who used to have that do the work, he was that serious. You know what I'm saying?
right,
And I'm just that type. If you do something miraculous, then I start watching you, then I might choose you, and you'll be the only person messing with my car.
right,
Because I seen him do something miraculous. A lady dropped her car off at 8 o'clock in the morning. She got off at 5. Her car was ready. He switched the motors.
oh wow,
Where they
yeah,
do that?
yeah, right,
All right, so I was like,
right.
but dear people, it's been great.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh, excuse me. Let's go ahead now. We'll talk about Carlee Russell, aka Justina Smollett. Yeah. Um, we'll talk about that on another time because I've got to get up this chair. So, listen, all of you who are still with us and carrying on, we love you. We thank you for your support. Thank you for giving us 14 years of your time. Listen, y'all see my Cash App down there? Y'all know I'm doing this run, honey. We got to get at least 30K in the kitty for the mayoral run. Okay. We got some things that's coming down the pipeline, and yeah, I got to raise this coin. And yeah, don't go nowhere, Red. Let me close this out because I'm going to share this.
Let's sell your building.
Huh?
Let's sell the building complex you're in.
Okay. Okay, right. So be that as it may, honey. If you love us, tell a friend, honey. If you hate us, you can tell all of your damn enemies, honey, to come on in, like, subscribe, share on whatever platform that you're watching us on, honey. Because I want you to understand, honey, that everything that we are doing over here at 3 the Hard Way, honey, we're a syndicate. I like saying that. Okay, everything that we are doing in any way, shape, style, form, or fashion will move forward, honey. In the absence of Aunt Nikki, honey, they got this girl running, honey. We ain't talked in a minute. We've been texting, we haven't talked. Um, but yeah, she'll be back soon. And Karen also, honey, we love you. We thank you, honey. And we will see you guys again real soon. So on that note, honey, and ooh, scene.